Good evening, everybody. It's a Monday night. It's the CRA and it's the season finale here under the lights of Bahrain in Sakhir. Here we go then. It's built up to this, has the last few weeks, and tonight we have a title decider, and once again I am joined in the box for the culmination of this fantastic academy season by Danny. Welcome along.
Hello mate, very happy to be here. How's things?
Yeah, not too bad mate, not too bad. Been a very good week since we were last time out in America, but part of me inside is sad as we reached the culmination of this fine season.
I know, you want it to keep going, don't you? Now it's just I know all the drivers and who they drive for now as well. Finally got that down, and we finished the season absolutely sick. But, yeah, it's going to be superb, this race.
That is indeed the thing with these short races, sorry, not short races, short seasons, that it's only 10 races in the academy, 11 in our main leagues here at CRL. It all happens so quickly, and like I say, at the end of every year the teams are randomised once again, so it's not just one team dominating constructors and one team dominating drivers, so there will be very sad to see some of these moving on. Some of them even being promoted. And speaking of promotion, two of the candidates in mind have got to be Warrior Huntsman and Joe Williams.
Yeah, they've shown, haven't they, time and time again, that they're ready to race higher up. You know, recent winners have already moved on, even very recent winners are moving up the order already. I look forward to some of these lads racing in higher leagues, definitely.
Yeah, so as we build onto that then, here we go then. For the final time this season, we'll jump on board for a lap of this Sakhir circuit. The lap record of 1:30.2 from Michael Schumacher, the man himself. So here we go then. Down on the long run in towards turn 1, we're on board with Joe Williams as he comes down into the harsh braking zone, shifting. He's a little bit wide on the apex there though, on the right hand side. It's flicked the car left again through 2, right again on through 3. You can take a little bit of curve as you see as DRS pops open for the first time on the lap. It's then a long run up down towards braking about 75 metres for turn 4 on the long twisty 90-degree almost right-hander, then into the tight and twisty section of turns 5 through 8. There you go, turn 6 there. You can catch a lot of curve at turn 7, but Joe Williams eases off, run wide at turn 8. Sorry, on the entrance to turn 8, he's got another nice right-handed apex. Again, he's a little bit too close in on the left-hand side as we flick through 9 and 10, this double left. Turn 10 being one of the harshest and slowest corners on this calendar. But here we go, that's a nice clean exit from the Williams driver, and you've got second DRS as you run down towards turn 11 into this left hander then as you begin the almost flicky left rights of turn 12, but mind this curve on the right hand side. You take too much of that, you will be in the wall, and then it's a nice almost again 90-degree right hand up for turn 13. It brings you back round onto the penultimate straight. No DRS on this one, but you can use a lot of your fuel and ERS to get you into nice overtaking position. You come around the final 2 corners. That's turn 14 now on the right, and this is turn 15, the little kink, and back open DRS for the final time as you cross the line on a 1:27.4. is not bad from Joe Williams, not bad indeed.
Decent start.
Yeah, and I think we mentioned at the top of the show a few drivers to look out for, Warrior and Joe Williams, and most importantly for that reason being that realistically they are the only 2 that can win the title.
Yeah, it's no pressure, lads. It's a tough one for them today. I know that they've been feeling the pressure during the week, and obviously everyone talking about it in the build-up. I just hope that they can keep the composure, get a good race in tonight. You know, nothing silly. Hopefully they can stay out of trouble and really try and press each other for that win.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame really. I mean, obviously we've been here for 10 weeks, the pair of us, and part of this fight unfortunately is Super Gabu, and I say unfortunately because he can't race tonight. It's so hard for him. He was obviously within 11 points of Warrior Huntsman at the start of this round, but he's unable to take part, which means that the highest he can finish is second. So
yeah, devastating for him. I know that he would have, you know, really given anything to be here, so there's a genuine reason why he couldn't make the race tonight. I know that he's also said in the group his thanks to everyone in the league, which is, I think, it's a quality touch from the driver, to be fair.
Yeah, and he is a prime example of what this academy is all about. If you've been with us a lot this season, you'll know obviously we run a reduced format, short qualifying, 25% race. Assists of all kinds are allowed. And Gabu is a prime example of what we want. He's a driver who's come in at the start of the year, built on it, and it's like I say, he's coming to his final round with a chance of winning. Unfortunately, can't take part, but it looks heavily like he's going to be getting a promotion into the main leagues next season.
His consistency from week to week has shown, his lap time's shown. He's always been there or thereabout in the mix, certainly over the latter stages of the season especially. I can't fault him. He's done well. It's just a shame, as you say, he couldn't be here tonight to battle it out with Warrior and Jar Williams.
Yeah, so as we approach the sort of 6-minute mark, so the first 5 minutes of the session done and dusted, Shadow Moodley then, who sits atop the timesheets, 127.1. I'm expecting to see a few low 126s with the tyre wear and the track evolution that you get here under the lights. So that will be interesting to see. Currently, Joe Williams has the advantage then. He's in third, Warrior Huntsman down in seventh. But as you can see there, Warrior on the medium tyres, so I'd expect he'll gain that second or two between him and Joe Williams by shifting onto the softer compound in the second half of this qualifying session. But it's an interesting one here. We've talked a lot all season about the 25% strategies, going most commonly from soft to mediums. But here in Bahrain, where the tyre wear and the sort of track, do you consider maybe the hards for this race?
As in soft, I mean, qualifying, I believe, is definitely soft. So a soft hard strategy, possibly. I think you might be a little bit more confident once you can wear the hards in to go and not have to worry about maybe the tyre degradation close at the end of the race. It's a potential. Yeah. I wonder if anyone will go for it though.
Yeah, it is. It is one of those things that you sort of might be a genius stroke, but also it might cost you, considering it's only, I think, about 14 or 15 laps around here. But like you say, if you're on the softs, I'd expect in a 50% race they go after about 4 or 5 laps, so maybe only 2 or 3 in this 25%er. But as you can see already, the majority of the field deciding to take those softer tyres. We're on board with Matt Warner then for his first flying lap. But the highest medium runner, Racing Slade, down in 9th. 3 seconds off the pace, so obviously a mistake in there as well. But already Warrior jumping onto the softs. So it does look like it's going to be a lot of softs. But whether they go onto the medium or hards is going to be the key decision.
Yeah, just like we saw last time as well, MUFC Harvey opts to stay on the same softs when he's out. He's had 3 laps, I believe this is his 4th. He's setting a time on at the moment as he goes into sector 2, so he seems to do that most weeks. Don't know if that's worked for him so far, I'm not sure.
Yeah, he has. You bring up MUFC Harvey there. He's a driver that come in a little bit later on in the season, and he has done this sort of thing where he goes out on the same set of tyres for 3 or 4 laps. But he's might be having the excess tyre wear at the start, but he's coming on in the race and actually having some strong showings. Obviously, after that first stop, it's sort of neutralised tyre wear, but he doesn't seem to be struggling in that first stint.
No, fair enough if that's the way that he chooses to take it. And as you say, he's been performing well enough in the races, so I can't knock his pace.
Yeah, like I said, he's 4th in the championship then, so he can't catch the top 3 whatever happens today. Even if everyone else crashes out and he stays and goes to win the race, he'll only finish on... Oh no, he might finish on 93 actually, so he's got a chance of finishing 3rd, but it's a very slim chance then. But like you say, done very well and currently sits in that 4th place.
Yeah, still a decent effort considering some of the drivers that are around him and who he's still beat, who have also put decent performances in this year, so not bad.
Yeah, so it's unfortunately as well, we've got a little bit of a reduced grid today. We've already seen and spoke about, as we said, Super Gabu unfortunately can't race with us, so that's one driver, and then a few other drivers I think have just starting to get into that post lockdown sort of back to work thing, so we're seeing a few drivers not racing, so a few of these have got a good chance to prove themselves.
Yeah, well, same as the rest of the year. I wouldn't treat this race any more differently if I was the driver. Don't get overexcited and try and do something you wouldn't do on a week-to-week basis, or try and push harder just because it's the last race of the season. Eyes are watching, people are watching the streams. The people who are in the league will have a close eye on who's doing well and who's not doing well. So you've still got a point to prove, in my opinion. You've still got to push and drive as well as you can.
Yeah, it certainly is about proving that point, developing yourself as a driver so you can make the step ups possibly to CRC1 and CRC2. As with anything, it's not like normal. So like sometimes people commit and then after half a season they have to pull out, and there becomes reserve spaces, which a lot of like Huntsman and Gabu have been doing, which is why they're in consideration for top seats, as well as their performance in the academy. So there's always times so that these guys might step up if others drop out. I think there's going to be a couple of seats coming free across all tiers at the end of the season. So
yeah, there'll be a mix. I think there'll be a review at the end of the year. Have a look at who deserves to be where, and it's based upon a lot of factors. But we won't go into them now. Obviously, we've been qualifying, but it should be interesting. Although it should be an exciting post-season stroke pre-season.
Yeah, it certainly will. One thing we haven't mentioned is we're approaching the sort of back end of this final qualifying session. It almost goes so quick every week. Is the Drivers' Championship that we have mentioned. Alongside that, it's also all to play for in the Constructors' Championship. Now, Alpha Tauri and Warrior lead both championships, but Williams are not far behind them. 25 points is the difference. However, if you notice that watching at home, you can see on the left only one driver per team today, so it's almost Joe Williams needs a win and Warrior Huntsman to struggle in both the drivers and constructors. So where's your early money going?
Well, I think you have to be fair to Warrior. I know he's qualified in 6th position today, or he's set the time in 6th just recently. You've got to feel like Warrior's performance over the whole season is warranted not finishing outside of points today. I think that he'd be hard done to, and I think with a massive finish for Jar Williams would be deserved, but I don't think falling outside the points today for Warrior would be. So for me, my money's on him. As long as he keeps nice and tidy today, I think he'll take the victory.
Yeah, and as I said, it's been such a great season. All round really. I might keep repeating myself here, but it's just been brilliant to be in the box for what has been a very close championship fight, constructors fight, and just great racing in general. Obviously
week on week I've been more excited more excited to sort of watch your racing, watch your tracks. It's interesting to see how drivers take the lines and the little battles that are going on during the season. It's been class to commentate on, really has.
Yeah, I mean, it's your first season in the box, so if I was to ask you what's been your favourite moment, could you possibly pick one at this stage?
Oh my word, put me on the spot. Do you know, I think I'd struggle off the top of my head to say just one given moment. I've had a bit of a blank, mate. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Yeah,
but I can imagine I could go back through footage and pick multiple out where I'd think, oh yeah, that's definitely it. No, that's definitely it. No, that's definitely it. Because there's been multiple occasions of that type of thing.
Yeah, I certainly don't blame you. And in the meantime, we've been talking. I've been on board with Jar Williams, and he's been selling purple sector after purple sector. So this could be a very good lap with just 4 minutes to go. He's currently down in 5th. A 1:26.8 is the time he needs to beat for that provisional pole. Oh, it's a 26.9. So he lost a 10th or so in that last sector to Royal Viking. But he locks out and splits those Ferrari-powered cars at the front of the grid. Shadow Moody sort of going under the radar a little bit. It'd be harsh to say mediocre, but I think in his eyes he's had some good performances here and there and just struggled a little bit with consistency. But 3rd place, I think, just shows like his potential that he has got. You can see there 1:27.1, so he's only really 3/10 off the front row, front grid slot even.
Yeah, he's had he's been involved in a couple of things where he's been clipped, etc., and that's cost him a lot of time in races. And it tends to, even if you get even a slight bad corner can cost you, especially when there's people really fighting at the top. Speaking of top, I think Royal Viking we haven't really mentioned much, and he certainly deserves a shout out as well, because over the last few races he's been in amongst it in terms of pace. Yeah,
he was so unlucky in Italy. He was sort of at the back struggling a little bit, came through the field after that sort of poor start that he had, and then it got to the final lap of the race and after the safety car went in. He had all the time in the world, all the tyres in the world to get past Camiliano, I think it was, that took the victory there. Or it might even have been Joe Williams, in Italy, that took the video. Camiliano was last week in Circuit the Americas. It was Royal Viking got to the Ascari chicane and just went straight on and clipped the curb at turn 10 into the wall, and that was his race over. Would have been his first victory here in the Academy this season.
It's hard to take now you say it like that.
Yeah, as I was saying, it can be so harsh on drivers, and unfortunately, as much as there are so many good drivers, the championship fight has come down between Warrior Huntsman and Royal Viking, and Warrior Huntsman is about to come across the line.
Ooh. He's only one up into P7.
Yeah, 27.3. Set a few purple sectors there, but I think again in that third sector he just lost a lot of time. As Royal Viking goes even quicker. He must be listening into our stream. He's gone a 1:26.473. Pulled out a 5-second gap to Judd Williams, and look at that time from Vegas, 1:27.110. Absolutely flown there into third place. But looking at those times already, we've got 1 minute and 30 seconds, so I don't think anyone's going to get a time in unless they're out on the track now. But currently, second place at 1:26.9, ninth place at 1:27.7. 8 tenths separates second to ninth. 7 drivers behind Joe Williams, all within that 8 tenths. Shows just how close the racing has become here in the Academy. As we jump on board then with Shadow Moody for what will likely be his final flying lap.
Yeah.
Who else we got? There's a McLaren running wide there. I wonder whether they're it looks like they're on an outlap, so that was Racing Slade. He's going to have lost a bit of time down in 30. Oh, and there's a McLaren in the wall. Not what you want on your final run of the season. We failed to mention in the time that we've been on here about that turn 12 curb. It's such an off-camber corner that if you clip that curb at 7th gear, usually about 180, 190 miles an hour, it's a one-way ticket into the wall.
Yep, I've done it on multiple occasions, including my actual first ever, I think it was, drive with some of the races in the Cone Racing League. So I learned the hard way. Do not touch that curve. Yeah.
As we jump on board with Van Gerven down in 11th place and currently outside the top 10 as the checker flag comes down for the final time in qualifying here of CRA. Royal Viking, as Van Gerven runs a little bit wide on turn 11, he will start no higher than 11th.
Yep, Assault King's also invalidated his final lap, so he's not going to be able to set any quicker.
Yeah, Shadow Moody comes around the final corner. He's a little bit faster, but I don't think he's too fast. He jumps up into third place though, finishes in P3. Vegas still in the pits. Judd Williams though on a flyer through the middle sector. He's 300ths up in that first sector. Then he comes around turn 8. There's a McLaren though on the left hand side. I think that might be Vegas. Yeah, no, it's not. It's Murphy. Sorry. So Murphy has retired.
Murphy, that's not what he's going to want last race of the season. He's been so unfortunate with a few races now, coming into problems. He's been travelling quite well on multiple occasions, and just one little spin. I know he went from 4th to 2nd. I think was that Italy, or was that even last week?
But it might have been last week, yeah.
Yeah, he just he caught just a corner, spanned the car, and it's just took him so far back. As I believe someone else has just left the session.
That was Harvey retires from the session then.
Sorry.
But here we go then. It's the final corner of qualifying for Judd Williams. He's looking to round out the season with a pole position. Can he do it? It comes through turns 14 and 15. It's foot to the floor then on the long run down towards the pit straight. He needs to be at 1:26.4. And it's only a 1:27.0. So he does not improve. But once again, it's another front row start for the Williams driver. And once again, it is Royal Viking showing what pace he's got, and Judd Williams with that early advantage then. 27 points, I think, not even that, 17 points, the gap between him and Warrior Huntsman as it stands.
Yeah, that's... I'm definitely sure Warrior Huntsman would have wanted a better a better qualifying than that personally. I think that he definitely would have preferred to be out the way of certain problems. Realistically, anything can happen anywhere in the pack, but the higher up, the more chance you are of keeping out of the way of them, and it's so important that he does.
Yeah, like you say, you need to stay a bit clear of that turn one corner. Formation lap is key at a circuit like this as well, because you need to warm your brakes and tyres up, because it is such a harsh braking zone, and the further down the field you are, the further back you're going to have to consider braking, because it's going to be a straight shootout between, I think, Royal Viking and Joe Williams for that first corner, who's going to lead coming out of it. And because you've got that such tight apex, that we've seen last year even in CRL, that one little mistake and it can cause a safety car or a VSC.
Yes, if you get on the inside of turn one as well on that curb, if you catch the curb itself and it lifts the car up and you have any power down when you return to the track, you turn a sharp right so fast and the back end can just be lost instantly. So it is a naughty curb, to be honest.
Yeah, it's also that traction that getting out of that corner. You mentioned the curbs just there, but if you don't get the right traction out the corners, you also can see yourself going in a circle. But there we have it then. There is the final short qualifying results of this CRA Season 2. It's Royal Viking who takes pole position, and Joe Williams couldn't quite get that final lap put together, and he starts second. It's Shadow Moody in third, Vegas in fourth, Assault King is fifth, Big Ben in the top 10, then at P6 Warrior Huntsman, the championship leader, only manages P7, Harvey in 8th, Murphy in 9th, and Matt Warner in 10th. So here we go then. It's about to be the final race of this Season 2. A quick shout out to those of you watching at home. I've seen Gabu's in the chat there. Welcome along, Gabu. As we've already said, it's a shame you can't make it here, but good luck in whatever you're doing. A message from Chris, currently in a championship fight. I think maybe next season he might be looking for that, but he said he's torn between whether he wants an Alpha Tauri teammate to win or he wants the Welshman to win. So there is a bit of encouragement there from him. He couldn't make his mind up, but this will be killer.
Yeah, what I was going to say there is I'm personally an Alpha Tauri driver, so maybe, just maybe, there's a little bit of an allegiance there. I know it doesn't go towards the constructors for tier 1 and 2, but
yeah, I think we found where your loyalties lie then, don't we? As here we go then, we're coming onto the grid for the final time this season. 14 drivers in this race, but only one can win, and only one driver can take home that championship. Will it be that Williams you see on the left hand side of Joe Williams, or will it be I thought for a second there was no formation lap. That confused me a little bit.
No, Joe Williams.
Yeah, Joe Williams just failing to get away. So he's there. And Warrior Huntsman then down in 7th. The only other driver, realistically, who can win the title. He has the lead of 17 points. If he finishes on that podium, he cannot be caught.
Yeah, I was just worried for a second there when Joe Williams didn't set off, that if there was any contact with him, he wouldn't have had the chance to warm his tyres up, and that would have been very, very costly at the start of this first lap, first corner. Yeah,
that is, like I said, we've already mentioned it, those curbs, the traction, and there we go. We've already said, what do you think, medium or hards? And it's saying there, laps 6 to 9 for either or tyre, so it seems like it's going to be a strategy gamble for the drivers.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Degradation's pretty high, obviously.
Yeah, interestingly looking at it, no driver outside the top 10 has gone for the alternate strategy of either mediums or hards, all opting for those softs then. It just looks like it's going to purely be on pace, because I'm assuming they're all going to be running a one-stop, as is sort of standard with these 25% races. Assault King is not Assault King, sorry, Royal Viking there at the front of the pack, about to come through the final corners. But this one-stop strategy is quite obviously common in 25% races. But the first time really we've seen it's a driver's choice between medium and hard. Oh, as a car goes off in the background. A car goes off in the background there. That is Joe Williams and Assault King. So I think that might have been Joe Williams trying to get past, back up into second after that slow start off the line. But he is there then, and here we go. This is where the pressure starts to mount for the drivers. Championship on the line, race spoils on the line. There is Big Bows, who did not join in qualifying, sporting Kevin Magnussen's number 20, and there is your pole sitter, Royal Viking. It's Joe Williams alongside him with Moody in third, Vegas in fourth, Assault King fifth, Big Ben sixth, Huntsman the championship leader in seventh, Harvey in eighth, Murphy ninth, and Matt Warner rounds out the top 10. And they're on the grid now then as we wait for those lights to come up. You can see them there. There's 5 red lights, and they're finally going to go green for the final time this season, and it's a good getaway from the pole sitter. Even better from Shadow Moody, who's already up into second. Joe Williams really slow off the line though. He's down into fourth place as it stands. Are they all going to make it through the first corner without contact? That's what you've got to look out for, and it does not look like it as a driver running wide. Cars left, right and centre. MUFC Harvey up into 6th. Warrior Huntsman stays in 7th, and they run abreast then up towards turn 4, and it's Royal Viking who's got away cleanly. Moody takes second. Joe Williams around the outside of the other Alfa Romeo. He goes into 4th. There's a Red Bull running wide. That's Big Ben. He's down into 8th place now. Warren has been looking on the inside. Oh, he's touched the rear wheel of Vegas, but he's managed to keep that red Alpha Tauri, from a tank slapper, and he keeps it going. He's down in 8th place. We've got a spinner at the back. That's Matt Warner, spun on his final lap. He's gone about turn 3 or sorry, not turn 3 or 4, turns 5 and 6 is where he's gone off there. Vegas making a move on the championship leader then down in 6th. It's a good run down towards turn 11. You can see on board with Big Ben just how much speed Warren Huntsman had on Vegas. Who's going to make it into the corner first? Oh, as they almost touch, as they run wide, does Warrior Huntsman, but he's going to have a better line. Here they come then round this turn 12, side by side almost, and it's Vegas who gets the move done around the outside.
Curb.
Yeah. A lot of drivers steering clear, as you said there, of that curb, but look already, Royal Viking has 1.7 seconds between him and his nearest challenger, Shadow Moody. As they run down there, Joe Williams will have the toe then on the run down towards turn 1. He's got overtake to press. It's a purple sector 3, pulls to the right hand side, and here we go. Is he going to be able to make that move? Yes, he is. He gets the move done then. As it says, we're on lap 3, but we're not on lap 3. This is only lap 2. As we got a few timing glitches then. We see there's a Mercedes off. That is Vegas has gone wide at turn 2. The first spinner of this race. Has he kept that front wing intact? Yes, he has. As we jump back up to the front of the grid then, it is, according to this Royal Viking, there he is. We've got a spinner at the back. That looks like Racing Slade has gone round. He's not had the greatest of back ends to this season, but once again he is still in this race, so make use of this time, Slade. Shadow Moody then being dropped by Joe Williams as well. He's now a second outside of the DRS zone. What about Warrior Huntsman? Only managing 6th place so far. So strong running from Joe Williams so far then.
Yep, Warrior Huntsman got into a bit of a duel with Vegas, and I think the side of them were side by side for several corners. Brilliant driving off the pair of them. Also, Big Balls, he was 3rd in America last week, so he'll have certainly expected more out of the start.
Yeah, he a very good race. Started 14th, obviously joined qualifying late. I think he might have experienced a frame rate glitch, so he's pulled up into the points then, down in 10th as we see DRS then is enabled now on lap 3. Oh, that's Harvey running wide and Huntsman looking down the inside. Harvey already then 3-second time penalty. Who will have a good run? That's even Big Ben is looking around the outside, but he runs very, very deep into the corner. Does Big Ben, and he loses out a little bit of time there. Back up to the front of the grid, and Joe Williams now 2 seconds behind Royal Viking, looking to close that down though. Assault King chasing Shadow Moody, but he's got a DRS train starting to form behind him. MUFC Harvey, Huntsman, Big Ben and Murphy all within DRS of each other. I think there was almost a bit of contact there from the Red Bull onto the sister Alpha Tauri, but here we go then on the run down towards turn 11, and they do all indeed have that DRS No moves this time though. Big Balls has got past Greg and into the points of Racing Points, running 10th and 11th. Vegas after that spin down in 12th. His tyres though will have taken a bit of a hit, so will he be pitting earlier? We'll wait and see. Matt Warner closing him down about a second, the gap there. Racing Slade then down in last place, 24 seconds after his early spins. Lap 4 of 14. When do you think the first stops will be, Danny?
Oh, don't know. Do you reckon they've got a couple left in them, or do you reckon it'll be the next lap? Looking at this,
sorry, Harvey nearly runs into the back of Assault King in the dirty air with DRS. Almost, because as Big Ben uses his DRS to get past Warrior Huntsman. Big Bows gets past Murphy. There is Murphy. I don't know quite what happened there, but Murphy in the wall. We can see the remnants there as his teammate passes him, and it looks like Matt might catch from past him. Not this time though. Van Gerverden is in the pits for the mediums, so he's the first driver there. Chris, lap 6 he reckons. I was thinking lap 5, which is why I asked. I think undercut might be quite good round here, considering the state of some of these tyres that we're looking at. Here we go, then this DRS train starts to form again, but Harvey does not have it this time. Big Ben doesn't get a good exit though, but Warrior Huntsman is looking to close that gap, but once again not able to make an overtake. As Racing Slade goes round once again, missing a bit of his front wing as well. Not the day he would have had in mind.
One of the Red Bulls has just gone to the side. Big Ben behind Warrior Huntsman. He's just come back on the track, but he's going to be passed.
Yeah, he's been passed. Then he's down into 8th place, dropping from. Oh, he's run very, very wide again there on the exit of turn 15. But Big Bowser's been the big gainer here. As there we go, the first of the front runners into the pits. Big Ben, as Big Bowser pulls to the side, and looks like he's got that move done on the inside. Has he made the braking zone? Yes, he has. He's now up into 6th place. A bit of a kick there from Huntsman though.
Yep. Inside of that curb. Set to miss it, turn 1. Yeah,
indeed, you were correct. He's pulling out again, looking for a move on Harvey, but not this time. So a few drivers then onto the mediums. Big Ben, Murphy and Van Goverd, and Murphy does receive a 5-second penalty then for that. Racing Slade again loses. I think he needs to get off those softer tyres.
So far, Big Bal's from the back is absolutely flying. He's gone up 8 positions into 6th. He's the biggest mover and shaker in the first few laps. Vegas has dropped 5 positions, and he'll be very disappointed with that.
Yeah, you mentioned him there. Big Bow's getting past Harvey, so this has been a tremendous surge through the field in his opening 5 laps. He is now just 1 second behind Assault King. I think those fresh tyres then from starting outside the top 10, starting to show their true colours. He can maybe run that extra lap on the other runners, but also if he decides to pit, it almost neutralises it with those fresh tyres. But the gap's now starting to show throughout the field. This is the closest battles on track for 4th place, and there it goes. So Assault King is in. He's going for that undercut, going in early, as does Huntsman and does Harvey. So a lot of the drivers thinking, I've had enough of these soft tyres, give me those yellow walled mediums and let me get up through the field. Big Bows though, as I said, starting to stay out. Deciding to stay out rather than starting to. Deciding to stay out and make use of that extra bit of life in those tyres as we go back on board then with this what is a net battle for P3, I think, as it stands. And they come out line astern into this turn 1 braking zone. Is anyone going to make a mistake on those cold tyres? I don't think so. They've all got away quite cleanly. That's Big Ben in the distance, you can see coming through the same sequence of corners. His spin has lost him quite a bit of time to those runners though, as you can see.
Yeah, excuse me, top 4 are definitely pulling away at the moment. Viking, Joe Williams, Moody and Big Balls, oddly enough, is starting to get closer and closer to them even still. So he certainly made the most out of his softs. All first 6 are all still 5 laps in with the softs. Yeah.
I think the big thing here is you mentioned with the undercut is how much time it takes you to pit. Is it going to be this time for Royal Viking? Yes, it is. So he dives into the pit, then does the race leader, as does Joe Williams, as does Shadow Moody, and I assume Big Bows might be the same. We shall wait and see. Yes, indeed. So all those top 4 diving in. The key to mention here, it was 30-second gap to Royal Viking and his teammate Assault King. 32 seconds in the pit lane. Is a roughly what you can do. You might have 2 seconds to the cars in front of him, but here we go then. Who's going to have the lead when they come out of the pits? Vegas is in, Greg is not in yet, but here he goes. Assault King coming down the final straight, but I think Royal Viking has pulled out enough of a gap that there is indeed him in front still. And Jar Williams remains in second place. We've got yellow flags in sector 2. That's a McLaren around again. Racing Slade around once more. 3-second time penalty for Big Bow. So good progress. However, he has made a few mistakes. And he's gone right round the outside of Assault King. But, Danny, I don't know if you can see it. He has got front wing damage.
Who's got front wing damage?
Big Bows, and you can see there as Assault King goes around the outside. Just how much? Oh, and Harvey's looking down the inside as well. Sorry, outside of turn 8, but he's not this time. Big Bows will suffer through turn 10 though. He'll have to go a little bit deeper, I think. And there you go, you can just about see it. Who's going to have the better traction out the corner? Assault King starts to pull away. Big Bows pulls away from Harvey. But this time it is indeed as they were. Big Bows looking again down the inside, but that front wing is going to cost him round the likes of turns 11 and 12 here, because he won't be able to flick the car as comfortably as the other drivers. Oh, it's Huntsman's off! Huntsman's off! Huntsman is into the wall at turn 12. The championship leader is in the wall. He's kept it going, but that is big for this title race.
Oh my word, he's lost all of the front right wing. He's going to have to pit surely. He won't be able to kick the piss. Is he going to... Big decision, big decision. Yeah,
very big decision indeed. He can't keep on with that tyres, with that front wing, so he will need to pit again, as we see MUFC Harvey and Big Bow still going side by side into turn 1. It's a late braking from the Ferrari, just squeezes out the Haas on the outside, and he is up into 5th place. Chasing Assault King are the pair of them then, as Racing Slade deciding to retire in the pits at the final race. Not the greatest time for him, as Big Bows goes wide then with that front wing damage, and that has allowed Harvey through, and that'll be a few tenths gained already. You can see that a second that move has cost the Haas driver.
So just on board with Warrior Huntsman. He's just coming out of the pits having stuck some softs on. He's going to now take the biggest dive he can possibly take to try and get up in these last 6 laps to get in the points if he can. Jar Williams has to squeeze, what, 2 seconds out of Royal Viking?
Yeah, so as you said, the gap between Warrior and Jar Williams is 17 points. You get 18 points for finishing in second place. You get a point for fastest lap.
Wow.
So if things go as expected and Warrior Huntsman finishes outside the top 10 but with the fastest lap, it goes to win countback. So who will take that? We wait to see. We've still got 5 and a bit laps to go in this race. Joe Williams is starting to creep in a little bit towards Royal Viking. You said he needed to find 2 seconds. He's found 3 tenths in that last sector alone.
Yeah, it's interesting one. He's definitely
Warrior Huntsman
pushing. Yeah,
Warrior Huntsman is pushing as well. He's just gone purple in at sector 2. Won't be a fastest lap though, because he's come out of the pit lane in the first sector, but he'll have DRS on the run down towards turn 1. Matt Warner, the McLaren, in front of him, and here we go then. Warrior Huntsman looking to build up after that spin. Will he move up into 12th place? It seems a surefire thing, but he runs out of the RS a little bit too early though. Can't use that overtake button as planned. He's going to pull to the right hand side now. Matt just lets him through, realises it's not worth it, but Warrior Huntsman runs very, very wide and lets the McLaren back through. Good bit of sportsmanship there following the rules. We got yellow flags in sector 1 for that little incident, but it's still there. Jar Williams then closing down on a Royal Viking, 1.6 seconds, like 1.5 as they come through turn 12.
There is a good little battle going on. Turn 11 at the moment. Big Balls and Big Ben, a pair of them are still wrestling out.
Yeah, Big Bow's run a little bit wide there at turn 11, but he's going to have a very good drive through this sector compared to Big Bow's. You can see Big Bow's suffering from front wing damage. He's dropped 2.4 seconds behind Harvey. And here we go then. Big Ben will surely get this move done through DRS after these final corners. That is 14 there. It takes a lot of the curb. That kink on the left there is turn 15, but it's a very, very good exit from the Haas car.
Yeah. He's doing well. He's doing well to nurse it round. It must be very, very hard work with that much damage at the front, but yeah, fair play to him.
Yeah, we can see he's got such a good exit that Big Ben couldn't catch him through that pit straight, but there was a little bit of a kick from the rear on the Haas, but once again he gets a very, very good exit through turn 3, and on the run up to 4 it's just not going to be possible for the Big Ben to catch him unless he's going to make a big dive, but he knows that he can't win it on the final on this lap. You win it on the last few laps as Greg Game Center goes wide, overtaking Vegas. Oh, he kept it going in a straight line though.
Yeah, Murphy's gone past Greg's there, yeah, after a bad turn at turn 1, went really wide and on the left-hand side. Yeah,
and speaking of running wide, Big Bowles goes wide at turn 8, and that allows the Red Bull of Big Ben into P6. Battle of the Bigs going on here as they come through. It's DRS once again for the Haas driver. Has got much better run down towards turn 11, and Big Bowles, there you go, gets that move done on the inside. Oh, and he almost touched there. The Red Bull just about clips the rear of Big Bowles, but he keeps it in a straight line, and once again you can just see how wide that has to run through turn 12. And he runs very, very wide on the exit, and surely now the Red Bull driver will get that move done as they come down in towards turn 15. It's still Big Ben in 7th place behind. He gets a 3-second penalty for running there, but here we go then. The best chance he's probably got. DRS opens, overtake depressed, but overtake only at 4%. But he's going to be closer than he has been in any of the previous laps. He's going to make a dart to the right hand side. He's going to look to get ahead in the braking zone. He's got the inside line, and he is on the outside for turn 2, but has the inside line of turn 3, gets the move done. And in the meantime, Matt Warner has gone round in the McLaren. He's down in 13th as it stands anyway.
So, yeah, Warrior Huntsman at the moment, he's trying to push as hard as he can. He's not making enough seconds up. He's going to really, he might just run out of time here, unfortunately, or run out of laps, should have marked the point. And Jar Williams currently with the fastest lap of 1:30.089. I
was going to say, you can see there that Jar Williams has that extra point. Warrior Huntsman at 1:30. Oh, we got a Mercedes round. That is Murphy round at turn 4. He's gone into the wall. That's a front wing change for the Mercedes driver. But in the meantime, we've been talking about the fastest lap that Huntsman needs to try and find. He may be in with a shot of actually finishing inside the points. He's got 3.3 seconds between him and Van Goverdon, and if he gets that point, it neutralises the field once again.
Interesting last 2 laps. Everything to play for.
Everything to play for, and in the meantime of all this championship battle talk, Royal Viking has driven a pretty perfect race so far.
Yeah, superb in qualifying, superb race.
Yeah, pole, like you say, pole position by 5/10, led from lap 1 even through the pit stops. Obviously wasn't in first when the no, he was in first when the stops came out even. He had pulled enough of a gap, and like you say, 1.7 seconds of Joe Williams now as Matt is round again, and there he is at turn 12. Not been the greatest day for McLaren then. Viking has pulled out another 3/10 on Joe Williams in that then. So as it stands, Joe Williams would take the championship with 1 point the difference. That fastest lap of 1:30 flat, seeing him take the second season spoils here, but Warrior Huntsman on those soft tyres is ever gaining on Van Goverdon.
Yeah, he is as well, yeah. 3/10, 4/10, 5/10. Now he's starting to get closer and closer from the 2 seconds. If he just keeps this on, he's got a very good chance of getting that point.
Remember, when he was up in 6th place, Warrior Huntsman did have the championship, I wouldn't say wrapped up because anything can happen in a race, but he was in a very, very good position to win the championship. Had that spin at turn 12, had to replace his front wing, and we got a Mercedes round again. This time it's Vegas, so Vegas has gone round, and do you want to know what, Danny? He's got front wing damage, so is he going to have to pit with just 2 laps to go? Could this be the break that Warrior needs?
He's now got a big decision to make, hasn't he? If he stays out and nurses that round,
well,
he might just have a chance of staying it.
Yeah, that gap is now just 3/10, and Warrior Huntsman is all over the gearbox of Van Gogh Verden. Is he going to move down the inside in towards turn 50? Oh, it's a little bit of a chop from with that red X there, but he is back, and it might just be a server issue. Here he goes then, Warrior Huntsman looking to dive down the inside. Oh, gets the inside line for turn 1, and he pushes the racing point out wide, and Warrior Huntsman equals up the standings.
He gets it done. You would have thought so. I noticed that he didn't go the previous corner, which was probably a smart decision. He knew he was going to get it done, and now he's got the fresh air to go and attack. Yeah,
Greg's game centre the car in front of him, overtaking 1 racing point to tie him level with Jack Williams. Here we go then. The final few laps of this incredible season.
No change at all from the top 3 from qualifying in Viking, Jack Williams, Shadow Moody as 1, 2, 3. Been absolutely solid race from them 3. Royal Viking especially is just somehow still pulling away from Jack Williams. He's been brilliant.
Yeah, but Jack Williams doing all he can do. Warrior Huntsman doing what he needs to do. He's all over the back of the other racing point now, forcing him a little bit wide there. He's going to have the traction now. It's the final lap of the race, and Royal Viking is about to come round into sector 2 then. .3 second he now has pulled over Jack Williams. Shadow Moody again going under the radar, but what a performance, up in 3rd place for the Ferrari driver. And Warrior has, he's not got the move done in the first DRS zone. Will he get it done in the second one?
Here we go.
So as it stands, Jack Williams is winning by a point. If Warrior Huntsman can get this move done, he will take home the championship. But in terms of this race, indeed, it's Royal Viking who comes around the final corner. The McLaren pulls to side, and he comes across the line for what has been a very, very comprehensive victory. He has taken the checkered flag. Jack Williams crosses the line in 2nd. Shadow Moody will come across in 3rd. But all eyes now down to Warrior Huntsman. 9th place gives him that extra point, but Jack Williams, remember, has the fastest lap of the race. So Warrior is currently tied. I believe he's got 2 points. That takes him to 104. Jack Williams has 19. That takes him to 104.
No way. No way.
It will be on special rules. This will be crucial then for the championship. Warrior Huntsman looks like he'll come across the knife. Big Bow's great drive up into 6th. Harvey finishes 5th again. Big Ben in 6th. Vegas 8th. And Warrior Huntsman will cross the line now in 9th place, barring any penalties. It's 9th place for Warrior Huntsman. It's a tie. 104 points apiece after 10 rounds of racing.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
You could not have written this script. Lap 11, Warrior Huntsman had the title in the bag. He spun into the corner of turn 12, hit the curb, and had to pit for a front wing. Then indeed he got up into 9th place, takes the 2 points to tie him with Jack Williams, who got 2nd place and fastest lap. So after 10 weeks of racing, it is 104 points apiece for Jack Williams and for Warrior Huntsman.
Yeah.
I
don't know what to say. You could say that.
Yeah, we have a little bit of a situation here. We don't know who's got it yet. We're leaving it to the worker bees down in CRA headquarters as to who will take the championship title. I think in the meantime we'll try and get both drivers in for a quick chat. You'll have to bear with us watching at home, but Danny, just give us your thoughts on that race.
Laps were absolutely dynamite. so he'll be happy with his performance. And of course, Warrior, after the damage in the race, having to go into pit, do the extra pit and everybody else on the 2-stop, and still managed to claw his way back up into the points to save himself towards this very nervy moment while the calculations are getting done.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi, Ja.
Hi, Ja. How are you doing?
Confused.
Confused.
Yeah.
So
we are very confused. We are awaiting Warrior. He possibly will be joining us. But while I've got you, Ja Williams, and according to my sources, you are the Season 2 champion of the CRA.
Wow.
How does it feel?
Well, it's not too bad considering I only got into online racing a couple of months ago.
Yeah. No, it's very good. So just to let you know, both you and Warrior Huntsman finished on 104 points. You were 17 points behind going into this race. You've taken 18 points from finishing second, the fastest lap point as well. And you were 104 points to his 103 on the final lap of the race until he overtook it. You tied on points 104. You're tied on race wins. You're tied on highest finish, and you're tied on least DNFs. So it's come down to average finishing position. It's about as tight as you can get.
That's why it took so long.
Yeah, that's one hell of a calculation there, isn't it?
That is indeed. But yeah, so you joined us very late in the season compared to others, but you've shown quite brilliantly through this season how well you've been able to drive, and you've got your just rewards, I think.
Thank you. That's 2 titles this in a couple of months: the Cone Cup and now the Academy as well. So that's not too bad.
Yeah, it's very, very good. I do feel a little bit sorry for Warrior Huntsman. I think everyone that's sort of impartial would say the same thing, but it just goes to show that your consistency can help you a long way.
Yeah, and Warrior's been absolutely fantastic. I looked at him when I first joined the league, and he picked up the first couple of wins and picked up one in Vietnam, I think, wasn't it? And yeah, he's been super consistent all the way through. So yeah.
Yeah, it is a shame. It's been a highlight, just how close that championship battle has been. But if you had to maybe pick one, what would you say has been your best race of this season? I think, yeah. Yeah, that was something I did mention at the start commentary. He's done very well again, like yourself, since he's come in as Royal Viking, and he was all over the back of your gearbox on that final lap, but he just went straight on a Scari, so into the wall. And I think if I was in your shoes, I'd have been very, very relieved. Yeah. So yeah, that is very good. So as I said, you are the drivers' champion for this year. Have you got any sort of hopes for next season? Yeah, it certainly has been a very, very close thing, and like you say, I think you'll do very, very well in Tier 2. You've obviously reserved for a few times for us in those high divisions. And just before we leave, the academy system and then the reserve in Tier 1, how does that help people like yourself? Yeah. I said, and I'll just quickly pass it over to Danny. Anything you'd like to part on? I see it's been a bit one-sided, this interview, from my point of view, so I'll leave the floor with you, Danny. If he's there. Nope. He's stunned in silence. Yeah, I think he might have gone there. I will point out as well while you're here that you've obviously taken home the Drivers' Championship, and you got ever so close in the Constructors. You finished just behind AlphaTauri. They've taken 143 points. You guys on, I believe, 134. Or 135, sorry. So you've only finished 8 points behind, which once again is magical. So it's a first place. I can hear you now, Danny. Hello.
See you also good.
Yeah,
No
problems,
worries. No worries. Well, that is it, Danny. That is it. CRA Season 2 is over and done with. Your winner then, Joe Williams, who we've just spoken to. I asked you at the start of the show, and I'll ask you again. Any highlights?
That. What we have just seen, I think, is just could not be beaten in terms of intensity and how important that was. Those last few laps were especially. But I don't think that after all of the great racing that we've seen in this season, after how impressive some of the drivers have been, I have to still say that Bahrain race there was pretty special.
Yeah. Well, no, that is I think something I can definitely agree with. That final race tops the lot, and with that we say goodbye. CRA Season 2 done and dusted. AlphaTauri take home the Constructors, and it's Joe Williams who takes home the Drivers' Championship by the finest of margins.
See you next season, mate.
See you later. Goodbye, everybody.